thought I would share a real life example of how my cptsd affected me today. It's like a small thing, but it doesn't feel like a small thing, and I feel like that is so how cptsd impacts us a lot of the time. I walk a couple block area almost every day, and so I know what indoor and outdoor cats exist in my neighborhood. Like there are 3 that live in this like couple of block area that are allowed outside, and I know them. So when there is a stray cat that does not belong to one of my neighbors, I recognize that this cat doesn't really belong here, or at minimum it's like a new cat. One day, as soon as I had like gone out for a walk, like I was right next to my next door neighbor's house, I started hearing this like incessant meowing, and none of the indoor outdoor cats in our area meow incessantly like this. So I kind of was like looking around, and I see the cat in my next door neighbor's backyard, and like once it like locks eyes with me, it like heads for me, and when it gets close to me, I realize like it's really skinny, and it's very very friendly, like rubbing all over me and my husband, and just keeps meowing. And so I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go grab it some of our, because we have a cat, I'll grab it some of our cat's food, put out a bowl of water and a paper plate with some cat food on it. I took some pictures of it because there's like missing and lost pets for like my county and my town and things like that, and I thought I'd put it on Facebook to, you know, see if anybody is missing this cat. My husband and I rent like a teeny tiny house, but it is a standalone house. But our house is on the same lot as a big house that has 3 apartments in it. We have like 3 sets of neighbors that live like on the same, like the same house number that we do, even though their building is separate from ours. And of course we know all of them. The next day, a neighbor came to give me a package that was mine, but had been left on her porch. Reference like, oh, like I saw that you were feeding that stray, and if you feed it, it won't leave. But she kind of like said that in passing, like as she was kind of like walking away. And like I didn't think that much about it. Like by that time, the cat was already gone. Somebody like a couple houses down had been posting that like their kids wanted it, and so they were like planning to take it in if nobody claims it. So like I hadn't like found anybody who was claiming the cat, but it seemed like it was gonna be okay. Like it wasn't gonna stay a stray or whatever. But also, I had no intention of like keeping it as like an outdoor cat. I wanted to like see if we could find its owner or whatever, but I would not have like continued to feed it daily long term. If I was gonna keep it, I would make it an indoor cat. So anyway, I fed the cat like Thursday maybe of last week. Haven't seen the cat since I think like Friday of last week. Today, I get an email from somebody who manages a bunch of properties that my landlord owns. And it's not like addressing me specifically, but as far as I can see, I am the only one who it was emailed to, and yet it is framed in a very vague way, like as if it's not specifically referencing me. It's like it references our house number, which there's 4 total families or whatever that live here. We just want to like make a notice that we don't want anybody feeding wildlife or strays. One of the apartments has had issues with rodents in the past, and feeding strays or wild animals may encourage rodent problems. Which I did know that one of my neighbors like a year or so ago had a raccoon get in her house, which like I don't even know how that happens. Like how does a raccoon get inside of your house? Like I think there must have been a structural problem, but I'm not like I don't know. I don't do construction or whatever. I don't know how that works, but that was wild to me. I assume that like the normal response to this is to be a little bit irritated, because I feel like that's just like an overreaction for me feeding a cat once. But also like it's just an annoying thing to have somebody like nitpick your behavior. And in this case, it's annoying to me to know that this neighbor must have like tattled on me basically, because this manager is never around, the landlord's not around. So anyway, I think it's reasonable to be a little annoyed by this, but that was not my reaction. My reaction was to have like this huge surge of anxiety and to feel super guilty, super ashamed, and like super rejected. But I think just kind of generally having parents who were unpredictable and did not like give clear expectations or like advance warnings about what expectations are. So like it was more like you just had to not annoy them because anything that annoyed them was bad, even if they had never told you like, oh, don't do XYZ. Like you could do it for the first time and they would like punish you for it with you having no idea that they didn't want you to do that. My people pleasing and things like that, a big part of it is that if I look for signs that I have upset people and then I take that as like, oh, I did something wrong. And also like when people would like get after me as a kid, it often felt like they were just assuming I did this on purpose to be bad. And I was kind of like a little goody two shoes. I was like really trying to always be like a very moral kid. And so it was really hurtful to me that people, like I would make a mistake not knowing it would upset anybody. And then not only did they see it as bad, but they thought it was bad on purpose. So I think that's why if somebody tells me that they don't like something that I did or tells me to stop doing something, it's not just, oh, I did a bad thing, but also they think I am inherently bad for having done this thing. Also have this sense of like, I should have known this. Like there's something wrong with me that I didn't know I couldn't or shouldn't do this, or that I didn't know this would upset them. I guess my guess on that would be that as a kid, I couldn't let myself see. My mom was often just kind of emotionally impulsive because she was overwhelmed and didn't have like self-regulation tools and things like that. So I thought there must be logic and reasoning behind the fact that she's upset with me for not having known this, even though I just didn't know. So my takeaway from that was like that there was a lot of things I should know that I didn't know. Like I should have inherently known or like picked up through like osmosis or something, but that I did not pick up on, and that was like a sign of something deeply wrong with me. Maybe that's a neurodivergent thing to a degree, but I also think a good portion of it at least came from unpredictable parenting that I was trying to make sense. And so one way of trying to make sense of unpredictable responses was to think there is a system, I just can't understand the system, rather than like being like, no, there's no system to this is chaos. So anyway, just because my neighbor didn't like that I fed a cat once, I had a moment today of feeling like I'm a bad person for feeding this cat, that I should have known not to feed the cat, and that they think I fed this cat because I wanted them to get rodents in their house. And that other people would have inherently known that if they fed a cat, that their neighbor would take that as them trying to get them to have a rodent problem, and other people would have known not to do this. And so I'm an alien and like inherently broken for not having predicted all of this. Hey, like it's hard to not laugh now because I realize there's like a lot of kind of absurdities here. But as it was happening, my anxiety got really high. I felt super guilty. I felt super ashamed. I felt really broken for a minute. Like I had to let myself feel it. I had to cry it out. I had to talk to my husband about it. I had to get through it because despite how illogical it is, it doesn't change the fact that this is the response that my nervous system has. And if I try to just like suppress it because it's not logical, it would just, get me stuck in like anxiety or depression or some other thing from not letting myself feel what's there. Like suppression doesn't help. And so I have to try to ride the wave. And I did. And I'm fine now. Yeah, I just thought I would give a real life example.